Yeah, my name's Phil Higgins, and we've lived in the United Arab Emirates for the past 11 years. Both of our children, Jacob and Edward, were born here in the UAE. And so schooling overseas is just part of their experience for all of their education. We were introduced to FilBrit this year, and it's been a great experience.
My name is Jacob. I'm in year 2.
Hi, my name is Edward, and I'm in year 4.
When we gave consideration to FilBrit, it was during the period of the COVID-19 pandemic, and the children were learning from home anyway. What we found, though, that when they were working from home, their education standard increased. And I know that this is because their mother, Christina, had strong influence in their education. And so we decided that we would look at some homeschooling options for the boys. And we came to FilBrit and have been very supportive to the program. We came across FilBrit, just from some social media posts, some advertisement from FilBrit. We didn't really look at any other solution. When we investigated the homeschooling concept, FilBrit seemed to be a provider of a very comprehensive education program for a homeschooling environment. And from the very first time that we were exposed to FilBrit, we felt very comfortable to proceed with them.
I feel fine.
Were you happy?
Come forward a bit. Okay, just stand here.
Were you happy?
Yes, I was happy.
You're happy? Okay.
I felt quite happy because I get to meet new people. My teacher was really nice, though. It was awesome.
The homeschooling environment for us is a combination of my wife and my involvement with the kids. But to be honest, mostly it's my wife. She is the driving force to organizing everything. She takes care of all the administration and the day-to-day follow-up. The kids come to me when they have a really difficult maths question. And so I think it's important that we both are involved in the program. But for us, Chris has taken that dominant role, and we really appreciate that effort. I think the FilBrit homeschooling was a more structured way of home education. As I said before, at the time we were already homeschooling from the normal school system, and so we found that FilBrit was significantly more organized. And I think the one thing that we appreciated the most is that the time spent in education was just limited to the learning experience, and they could spend 3 or 4 hours a day and accomplish significantly more than spending 2 hours on a bus and 3 hours playing in the playground. They were able to they're able to get through their work in a much shorter period of time. And as such, they have a different balance. It's a completely different lifestyle for the boys today. Well, FilBrit was well priced, especially when compared to a traditional schooling system here in the region. They seem to have a good combination of homeschooling exercises and teacher interaction. And I think that's a suitable balance. There's an organizational structure that we like, where there is a routine where the teacher would meet, and then the school document, the educational documents are provided, and so we can work through the program. It's a routine, and the kids have come to appreciate that, and so do we. And so having the list of assignments to accomplish each week is a target or a goal on a weekly basis that the kids attain to. And knowing what they have to achieve at the beginning of the week, by the end of the week, is I think, of great value to their education experience.
It's good. I think it's great for the kids, you know, because my kids, when they started the homeschooling, they have a big improvement than before. So I find it very amazing for me because I saw them, their improvement in the school. My eldest, my youngest, his writing, his reading and writing, it's amazing.
To me, probably no different than when they were in a normal school environment. Okay, so for me, as I said before, my wife is very much involved with the day-to-day education, and she really enjoys, I think, being involved with the kids and their learning experience. I mean, you know, we're fortunate that she's not working, and she does dedicate a lot of her time to that process. For the times when the kids come to me and ask me questions, I'm always available. I make myself available. I think that that's important. But it's no different than the questions that they had when they had homework from their previous school. And so there were always questions that they needed answered, and we spent time with them anyway. So it's a similar balance. And, you know, I think parents should be involved where they can in that educational process. And this just gives us a little bit more opportunity to be involved with that learning experience. I think with FilBrit, we have, yes, that we have a closer involvement to an understanding what they're learning. And so we can sort of set the expectations for the learning process. They have the criteria of assignments that they need to complete by the end of the week, but we know what those assignments are. And it makes it easier for us to ask questions about what they're learning. In a traditional school environment, we don't know what they're learning. And so you can't have that same involvement with the kid, with your child. You can't ask the same questions that you can when you're teaching them, when you know what they're learning on a day-to-day basis. And I think that brings a whole new dimension to parenting and the education of your child.
Actually, we started in the morning. I'm just print out their lessons, and then I make sure that they're studied both the same time. And then the project list, I make sure that I cross if they finish 2 subjects in a day. At least they finish 2 subjects. After that, if they asking for rest, I let them do the rest, and then after that, back to study again, back to lesson. Sometimes it's difficult, you know, because you teaching them a different subject, a different year. So it's everything is difficult, but it is less stress now. As a mother teacher, parents teacher, at the same time I'm learning, and all the things that I've learned before when I was in elementary, high school and everything, it's bring back, and then I help them. It's easily for them to learn because I already learned everything before. So it's easy. It's stressful, but it's easy for me. Especially the time. We have a lot of time to discuss, everything.
There is discipline involved. We have to have a structure. I'm not saying there are times when Chris has to yell and scream and get the kids involved, but that's just life in the normal home environment anyway. But we set a routine, and so we recognize that the educational process is like 3 or 4 hours a day. So the educational process does need some structure and discipline. That's really important. And what Chris is saying is that, we organize to do the educational phase at the beginning of the day. It doesn't matter when you do it, I guess, but for whatever works best, for your own structure that you put in place. Kids do need some discipline. We want to use this time as both education for learning, but also an education for time management. And the kids recognize that if they If they focus on doing their assignments, in the morning, then they have the afternoon free. They also know that if they don't complete the assignments, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they are school days just as well. They have to finish what's set for them. And so we like to have the weekend free. And so their target is to complete their exercises by the Thursday, because here at Friday and Saturday is the weekend. And so they know that they have to complete their assignment by Thursday. Otherwise, they're working on the weekend. And so they are working to a program. They're working to their time, requirement for educational standard.
My mom writes the words and then I have to write them in my book. My favorite activity is art. Second favorite one is math.
So I usually get my books ready, get my papers, then I usually do my homework. So I play outside with my brother sometimes, and I go to the beach with my family.
We do what we can to get out of the house, I guess. It's been a difficult time with COVID-19. I mean, this is not a normal environment for anyone throughout the world. And so we've needed to accommodate and adjust, to a new, social environment. We probably don't go out as much during this period of time, but we try to. So Friday mornings, we've started going to the beach, even though it's extremely hot here now, it's summertime. And so before the temperature, soars up to 45, 50 degrees, we've been, going out in the morning, and the kids look forward to that. During the winter months, I take the youngest one, we go fishing, and the oldest one stays home with his mummy. They do some stuff together. And so we always have, that routine that suits each individual, the boys individually, or as boys they are. So we just try to accommodate them where we can. I think it would be very difficult for the boys to go back to a traditional school system now. To be honest, we live in a place called 𝘍𝘪𝘭𝘪𝘭𝘪. It's an hour north of Dubai. School is 35, 40 minutes drive away. The boys take 3 hours a day on the bus just getting to school and getting home again. They would leave at 7 o'clock, they'd wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, they'd leave at 6:30 or 7 o'clock, then they'd get home in the afternoon. The time that they spend at school today is not much more than the time that they spend on the bus. It's just an efficient use of their time. They study their school lessons during the morning, and most of the afternoon they have off, or they have an easy morning and then they study, until, early afternoon. It's a flexible arrangement for them that they've come to understand. And because we've taken time to, ensure that there's discipline, the boys know that there is time to be spent at school. And so when their mum says, okay, now you're doing this lesson, they know they have to do the lesson. And they don't come out of the assigned room until they've finished what the work has been set for them. Having experienced this flexibility simply means that it would be really difficult for them to go back into a traditional schooling method. The support that they get from the teacher is, their one-to-one support. I mean, what is it, an hour or two a week? They probably get more from that 1 hour, even though it's online, than they would in a face-to-face environment with 30 other children in the room. It's a personal connection to the child that steers and provides the guidance for their education. And I'm really quite impressed with that. For some people, they might say, that, 1 hour a week isn't very much, but it's a lot of time. And it's definitely more time than a child would get in a school environment.
I don't need to wake up early every time in the middle of the night.
So what inspired me was learn more and have fun doing it.
Before the day start, I'm always putting in my mind that, okay, I need to do this for my kids. Always like that. I don't need to get angry all the time if they don't do their lesson properly. So I just control my tempers because I need to do this for them. Otherwise, they're going to the school. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm thinking like they need my help. So that's what I'm doing to them. Sometimes they are stubborn, but it's okay. I understand.
For me, I'm working from home most of the time, so it's supportive. A lot of people are working from home these days, so it's been an opportunity for me to be involved with them. So I appreciate it. I don't mind. The boys understand that, you know, I need to make time for them, and I'm not always available when they need me to be available. So they understand that. So if they come to my room and I say, I'll get back to you later, they understand that I'm working on something and I'm not available right now, but I make time to get back to see them. So,
well, as them being a teacher, it's like very nice because sometimes they help me and sometimes I can do it all by myself. But I really appreciate my mom and dad helping me a lot. So I really care about them when they're teaching me.
FilBrit, like I said earlier, that FilBrit is a very organized organization. It's a very organized structure, and we appreciate that. We like the fact that there is a combination of, you know, homeschool documents that are sent to us so that the kids can work through an assignment, and that they are constantly meeting with their teacher as well in, you know, group sessions and private personal one-to-one with their teacher. And I think that balance is quite sufficient. FilBrit, you know, provide all of the documents, and so it's just a matter of printing out the document for the kids to work with for the worksheets, and so they're all quite well prepared. And it's not a complex structure, especially for boys that are this age. For us to be involved with their education, everything is laid out for us. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, everything is just there. It's all at hand. So it's very easy to sort of, you know, just guide the child through the lessons because they're prepared, you know, pretty well. And if there are any questions, the teacher's available. I know Chris sends, you know, 1 million WhatsApp messages to the teacher all the time. You know, we don't understand this question. What do you mean by this answer? And there's always a response. So it's not like we're just left, you know, high and dry at any time. The teacher is available all the time to help, and gets back very promptly. So there's never any delay or disruption to the learning process. The kids get to work through the program consistently.
My advice is being a homeschooling parents, I think it's more easy and less stress. For me, it's less stress. Or teach you can see the progress of your children, you know, instead of they are going to the regular school. So for me, it's a good thing that I see my children growing, their education. They are more, I can see them, the improvement in the school. So for me, it's a good thing, the homeschooling, this during the pandemic. So I think it's more good for.
It was an easy transition for us because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We recognized that 2021 was going to be a year where there will continue to be homeschooling in the traditional educational system, and they weren't ready for it. FilBrit is an experienced homeschool platform, and so stepping into FilBrit at this year was stepping into an organized structure that was built around the mechanism of, you know, online teaching. And so for us, it was an easier process than, you know, working through the issues with homeschooling from some organization that was trying to invent it as they went along. FilBrit had already invented homeschooling. They'd already developed the system. And for us, it was a very easy structure. Having said that, experiencing homeschooling as we have with FilBrit today is a confidence level for us to say we will never go back to a traditional schooling system. Okay, we have in this year, 6 months of this year, recognized that FilBrit is the ideal system for teaching, for our child's education. It's more simple for us than having to organize to send our kids, 50 miles away to school every day when they have the capability to be working from home and learning from home. It also, I personally believe that it begins to build into the child's educational process the need for them to be learning themselves. And that's really important. To be able to teach themselves is a strength that will project them through to all levels of academia for them. Boys, I know that the last 12 months have been a different kind of school experience for you, but we really appreciate that you have adapted to homeschooling. I know that you were involved with this from your old school when you were forced to homeschool, and now it's become part of your educational experience. And we're really proud of how you've worked to make this work. It just hasn't just worked. You've made it work for us, and so we really appreciate that.
Edward and Jacob, always listen to me and study hard. Always listen to Mama. Always finish your lesson before the due date, so we don't have any problem. Okay? Then I'm very, very proud of you because you finished the year 2 and year 4. Well done, because you work hard. To the teachers of Jacob, Miss Claire, and to the teacher of Edward, Teacher Ray, thank you so much for your effort. We appreciate the class meeting and the one-on-one meeting all the time. That when we asking for the question that we don't understand sometimes, and you are always there to answer. And for the management, thank you so much for this program because it makes easy for us, and I can see all the progress of my children, all the improvement of them to their study. Thank you.
I would say, to the FilBrit management, we appreciate your involvement. I mean, it's not a huge organization. There are a lot of teachers. We have close interaction with the children's teacher, and we regularly see, the principals and those that are involved with the school organization with regular meetings. And so that's a great sort of support and involvement. We understand the direction for the FilBrit school system, and we're kept well informed, so we appreciate that.